What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Dricus du Plessis trolls Khamzat Chimaev ahead of UFC 319. This week, Dana White announced that Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev would be throwing down for the middleweight title on the UFC 319 card in Chicago. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Shortly after, a report from RMC Sport Combat emerged indicating that Nasruddin Imavov had been named the official backup for the middleweight title fight. In response, DDP trolled Chimaev, who pulled out of a fight against Robert Whittaker in the Saudi Arabia card on short notice because of an illness last summer. In a post on his Instagram story, the champion reposted a photo showing Imavov as the backup fighter, adding, "Guess I'm fighting Nasruddin Imavov." On top of pulling out of his fight against Robert Whittaker, Chimaev infamously had his fight with Leon Edwards postponed because of health reasons multiple times. Ahead of what is without question the biggest fight of his career, hopefully Chimaev is able to make it to fight night healthy. Magomed Ankalaev calls out Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka for rejecting fight. After taking aim at Alex Pereira earlier in the week with a post on social media, Magomed Ankalaev is now doubling down, saying that everyone, aka Alex Pereira and Jiri Prochazka, have turned down fights with him for the UFC 317 card. In a post on Wednesday, the champion wrote, "All the guys turned me down, an international fight week." He then followed it up adding, "Guys, is there anyone in the light heavyweight division who's willing to fight me? Because Jiri and Alex do not want to fight." While Pereira's case is a bit more unclear, Prochazka opened up on the situation during an interview with local Czechia outlet Sport CZ, saying that he was offered a fight in June, but he had to decline because of exams. Fight fans may remember back in March, the former champion posted a picture of himself on his Instagram story eating some grapefruit while attending classes for a security and strategic studies degree. Prochazka's coach, Martin Karabainov, was quoted by the outlet as saying, "We had one offer for a match, but everything is being postponed because of school. Once he finishes it, we will continue negotiations." With Pereira and Prochazka turning down the fight for June, it'll be interesting to see when Magomed Ankalaev ends up returning to the octagon. Sean Brady talks about Ian Garry interaction at UFC 315. Right now, both Ian Garry and Sean Brady are on the cusp of title shots in the welterweight division. For Garry, his win over Carlos Prates cemented his place as a top contender. However, given that Islam Makhachev is moving up and Shavkat Rakhmonov is believed to be next in line for the belt after him, the future still needs one more big win to stake his claim. Sean Brady, on the other hand, seems to find himself in a similar situation after his win over Leon Edwards, with only Belal Muhammad ahead of him in the UFC.com welterweight ranking. Because of that, many fans and media members feel as though these two need to fight to decide who the #1 contender is. During the latest episode of the Brady Bag Show for Steady Picks, Brady opened up on an interaction he had with Garry during the UFC 315 card.
Everyone I've talked to, all the media people, they all think me and Ian make the most sense. I seen Ian at the end of the fight. He was at the end of the row, and he was trying to ask me. He was like, "What do you think? Like who?" I was like, "I think me and you." I went like this to him. I was like, he was like, "What do you think?" I was like, "Me and you." But yeah, he knows I want to fight him, and Ian's not scared of me, you know.
Nah,
he just wants. But I think that's the fight that's going to happen.
While Garry has been all in on a title shot, the UFC may wind up strong-arming him into taking a title eliminator. Ariel Helwani leaks huge UFC news? News recently surfaced indicating that Chito Vera had been forced out of his upcoming fight with Mario Bautista on the UFC 316 card at the beginning of June. Shortly after, Ariel Helwani seemed to drop some big news on the Ariel Helwani show, revealing that Patchy Mix has signed with the UFC and is being considered for the short notice fight against Bautista on June 7th. While there's been no official word yet on whether Mix will in fact be stepping in on short notice, the PFL did confirm that they've mutually parted ways with the Bellator Bantamweight champion in a statement released via social media. Professional Fighters League and Patchy Mix have mutually agreed to not extend his contract. "We both decided this is the best course of action for PFL and him. Patchy is a fantastic fighter and we wish him well. PFL is excited to crown our next 135-pound champion in the PFL World Tournament." According to Full Send MMA, their sources are saying that there's a very real chance that Mix gets to step in and fight Mario Bautista in a few weeks. Considering that Bautista is ranked number 10 at 135 on UFC.com, the fight would give Mix a chance to cement his place as a top 10 fighter in the division. UFC updates. With this weekend's card right around the corner, let's take a look at today's UFC fight updates. Starting with a heavyweight fight between Derek Lewis and Thaleson Teixeira set for the UFC Fight Night Nashville card in the middle of July. Lewis will look to build on a win over Rodrigo Nascimento back in May, while on the flip side, Teixeira will be looking to keep his unbeaten record intact while building on a first-round win over Justin Tafa in February. Next up, we got a middleweight scrap between Ikram Aliskerov and Bruno Ferreira set for the UFC 318 card in July. The fight will see Aliskerov look to build on a win over Andre Muniz back in April, while Ferreira will be looking to build momentum on a March victory over Armen Petrosyan. That card will also host a fight between Amanda Ribas and Tabitha Ricci, with Ribas looking to snap a two-fight skid that most recently saw her drop a submission loss to Mackenzie Dern in January, and Ricci looking to bounce back from a loss to Yang Xiaonan. And finally, we got a flyweight fight between Amir Albazi and Tatsuro Taira set for the UFC Vegas 108 card at the beginning of August. The fight will see Albazi look to bounce back from a loss to Brandon Moreno last November, while on the flip side, Taira will be looking to bounce back from a split decision loss to Brandon Royval last October. Last but not least, we got an update on Holly Holm, who was looking to return to boxing after the GFL was stopped in its tracks. According to Damon Martin, after signing with MVP, Holm's return is set for June on the Jake Paul Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. card. The deal for Holly Holm to potentially team up with Jake Paul has been in the works for a while. I first heard rumors back with this in April, but nothing was official. Now, Holm is back in boxing, with the return booked in June. The last time Holm competed in boxing was in 2013, when she retained the IBA and WBF female light welterweight titles. Benoit Saint-Denis breaks silence on rejecting Mateusz Gamrot fight. After picking up a win over Kyle Prepelic on short notice at this past weekend's UFC 315 card, Benoit Saint-Denis took a shot at Mateusz Gamrot during his post-fight press conference, saying that he never got an offer to fight him on the card. During an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show this week, BSD doubled down on this claim, refuting Gamrot's claims that he turned down a fight. No way I turned down the fight. It's really a fight I would love to have. I'm looking forward for what is happening for his next fight. I hope he wins, and I would love to face him. I know he's not prepared for the violence I will bring him. In response, Gamrot reposted a clip of the quote, along with a laughing emoji. Cody Durden then replied, backing up Gamrot's claim that BSD actually turned down the fight. Bro, BSD full of definitely said no to fighting Gamrot. I read the text. If you say no to someone, at least stand on it. Don't call Gamrot a liar. Gamrot himself referenced Saint-Denis in an interview with Canal Sportovi as well, where, according to translations, he said, "Everyone was on the same level. Benoit Saint-Denis attacked me so many times. I thought about it for 30 seconds. He went to the bathroom and dropped a deuce." After Gamrot's upcoming fight, perhaps we will get to see these two throw down.
You know who else is delusional? F***ing BSD. That guy's f***ing delusional, my brother. let me tell you something, brother. The level of disrespect of this guy. Don't you watch the fight?
No.
He look good?
Of course. No.
He look bad, right? He say Mateusz Gamrot suck, Mateusz Gamrot, and then he said that he wants to fight Justin Gaethje. But look at that. Look at that. They offer him the Justin Gaethje fight and he refused. And Mateusz accept the fight, and then the other day they say no. He no.
Yeah.
So the two guys that he turned down, now he's saying he wants to fight them and say Mateusz Gamrot suck. He just got beat twice, and then he beat a guy 18-8.
Yeah.
With no victories in UFC, and he still thinks he's on the top.
Islam Makhachev has surpassed Khabib's legacy according to Aljamain Sterling. When Islam Makhachev captured UFC gold, the question many fans were asking was whether Makhachev could reach the same level of greatness as his longtime friend and training partner Khabib Nurmagomedov. The way Aljamain Sterling sees things, after setting the record for most consecutive lightweight title defenses with his win over Renato Moicano, Makhachev has already surpassed the Eagle. During a recent video for his YouTube channel, the former champion weighed in.
Now, Islam is one of the greatest lightweights of all time, in my opinion. I think he surpasses Khabib just based on how active he's been. I know some people think he hasn't been the most active. Oh, he's not very active. In terms of Khabib's run, I think Khabib had a total of like 13 or 14 UFC fights. I think Islam is already past that, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. He had a great run. I'm not saying, but I'm just talking wins, consecutive wins as a champion. I think Islam is up there. I think, in my opinion, he surpassed him because of all the wins of the credible guys he's beaten to get to the belt, and then the guys he's beaten for the belt.
While fans are torn regarding whether Makhachev made the right decision by vacating his title and moving up, Gilbert Burns told members of the press ahead of his fight with Michael Morales this upcoming weekend that he thinks the now former lightweight champ made the right call.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's big. I think he's a big boy. He himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think.
With JDM targeting a September return, it sounds like we'll get to see Makhachev at 170 before the end of the year. Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria heated back and forth. After Dana White made his announcement on Tuesday about Makhachev moving up to welterweight, Ilia Topuria reacted to the situation with the following tweet. On June 28, another dream will come true. I'll be the champion of the lightweight division. Charles, my apologies in advance. I'm just fighting for my dreams. It's unfortunate that Makhachev ran away 17-0. Well, Ilia went on a press conference earlier today and started taking shots at Makhachev for avoiding the fight. This is what Ilia Topuria said in his Spanish-speaking interview. Ali Abdelaziz would have me to thank for not beating up his star, and that he has any value today is thanks to me, because they got him out the back door. And then Ilia Topuria went off on Makhachev for being a hypocrite and avoiding the fight. Here's what Ilia Topuria had to say. It was the fight everybody wanted to see. I would have prepared for it and they ran away. They never accepted the fight. They never agreed to it, let alone did me any favors. Just running away in time to get something of value. If someone runs away, don't bully them either. You have to let them escape. I don't want to fight people who don't want to fight me. If you want to fight in professional conditions, we'll do it. If not, I'm not going to run after you and chase you. The biggest hypocrite I've ever seen, he told me he didn't want to give me the opportunity because I was the little guy, and now the little guy is him, who is looking for the same opportunity I was looking for. And before we continue, we have a favor to ask. Help us reach 200,000 subscribers on MMA Zone by subscribing and turning on notifications for daily MMA content. Seriously, we rarely miss a day. Well, it didn't take long for Islam Makhachev to see the comments circulating online, and he had this to say on his social media. Difference between me and you, that I cleaned top list in my division, moved to next, but you ran away from 2 contenders who had consecutive 5-9 wins in featherweight division. You are nobody in lightweight division, just a big mouth from Spain with nice haircut. Go get 1 W and we can talk, boy. Ilia Topuria fired back with this response. The difference between you and me is that I'm a man and you are a coward. I speak and fight, you talk and hide. Run away far, leaving no trace. And at the end of the tweet, Ilia Topuria wrote, "You are a little boy," in Russian. It's sad that we're not getting this fight anytime soon, but with these two going back and forth, we're sure that the UFC is going to do whatever it takes to get this fight signed. Maybe if Ilia defeats Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev wins against JDM, that we could potentially see this fight. Khamzat Chimaev talked about the potential fight between these two during an interview with Adam Zubarayev. Chimaev said, "I'm not a fan who watches all the fights, but of course Topuria versus Islam is the most talked about fight. It's what the fans want. I definitely watch it as a fan. They're both great fighters who deserve to fight each other." During the Ilia Topuria press conference, he had this to say to Charles Oliveira. "To be honest, I feel very sorry for Charles, but at the end of the day, it's my job. I'm going to fulfill yet another dream I've always had, which was to become a champion in another division, so the result will be the same. Always come out on top. He has to pay for Islam Makhachev." Who do you think will win this fight? Let us know down in the comments below.